What is going on, snipers? Naeem Al-Obeidi here. I hope you're all enjoying your day today. Let's go ahead and just dive right into our daily cryptocurrency market analytics and update for the day. We're going to be taking a look at a lot of bullish news in the market right now and why we're seeing such a green wave and whether or not we may see a pullback soon and what coins we could expect to see some further breakouts with. As you can see here, I've actually labeled all of the coins that are under 10% gains in the past 7 days. And as you can see, we've got the Verge, Ontology, Binance Coin, EOS, and Bitcoin on this list. And you can see Bitcoin only 6% up in the last 7 days, EOS only 6% up, and then the Binance Coin negative 2% and Verge negative 20% right now in the last 7 days. So we're going to be taking a look at some technical analysis to see when is the best time to buy these coins. As you know, we did this last week with Monero, and you can see how Monero shot up to 26% up in the last 7 days when before it was actually less than 10% up, while every other coin was over 30%. So this is a good way to see where the liquidity in the market has really divided itself, because obviously when liquidity comes into the market, it's not going to go to just one coin. And that's really what we're seeing right now in the altcoin market. A lot of people are liquidating from Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Bitcoin Cash, and Litecoin and going into the top 50. And it's something that we've been talking about for quite some time, knowing that a lot of new investors are coming into the market, signing up to exchanges like Binance. Binance actually announcing right now that they are going to be adding fiat to crypto trading pairs in a move that could shift reliance away from Bitcoin. So Binance actually moved its headquarters to Malta recently, and another exchange, I think it was OKCoin or whatever the exchange was, moved as well, while Malta is being extremely compliant with a lot of these crypto exchanges, and it's allowing for these type of revolutions to come about, because before there weren't that many fiat to crypto trading pairs other than Bitcoin, Ethereum, and some of the major coins. So if we look at the global market cap right here in terms of total market capitalization, you can see how altcoins are rising in dominance while Bitcoin is starting to drop. And it's something that we've been expecting, knowing that we're going to see more liquidity go into these altcoins. So the question is, which altcoins are a good deal right now? So we're going to go into those technical analysis in just a second. I want you all to see here, we had a trade alert this morning already resulting in 3% profits. This, once again, is all bullish news, and whether or not this is going to continue is all going to be deemed upon what we see happen with Bitcoin. Now, PayPal actually just changed their privacy policy, actually not allowing any more stealth accounts, no more unverified accounts, and no more PayPal balances without verified accounts. So they are actually making it more difficult to use PayPal, and this is another step towards the revolution of cryptocurrency and why I think cryptocurrency is going to be the future of payment transfer, because as you know, there's no reason to pay $2.99 for every international transaction or $4.99 for every international transaction when you could just use Nano or Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin and transfer it to anybody in the world for very minimal transaction costs. So you can see sending family money here is now more expensive than using BTC. An interesting article that I found here. And then this article, pretty cool here. It's a very good time to buy Bitcoin, says Pantera Capital CEO. And I want you to pay attention to here because this is a large fund here. You can see they're saying it's a very good time to buy. The bottom is in for Bitcoin, and the dark days of the bear market are likely in our rearview mirror. Something that's growing, that's fast, hardly ever gets below its 200-day moving average. When it does, it's a very good time to buy. So I went ahead and actually did the technical analysis here for Bitcoin with the 200-day moving average here in orange, and you can see how we are currently below the 200-day moving average. At one point, we found some support along there where we bounced on top of the 200-day, and then we finally went below it. But right now, it looks like Bitcoin is trying to get back above towards that 200-day moving average. We pull up the 1-hour chart. You can see here we're still seeing resistance along this Fibonacci retracement level, and until we can surpass this 8250, really it's 8300, in my opinion, we are not going to see further upside with Bitcoin, knowing that this is a very strong resistance level. So with all of this green in the market right now, is there going to be a pullback before we see these prices go up? Well, if we were to go to the 1-day chart once again, you can see with this RSI, we're starting to bounce back towards that 60. And if we start to test this again, in my opinion, when Bitcoin is inside of this zone here between 53 and 60, it is going to be very undetermined which direction it's going to go. But as soon as we can see any sort of crossover, at least above 60 or below 53, I think that's going to be the real indication of whether or not we're going to see further downside or further upside, knowing that a lot of these altcoins are up right now in the market. If we were to go to BNB, you can see here we just dropped below the EMA, which is the exponential moving average indicated here in the blue. And this is actually an indicator of a bullish or bearish price movement in the future. And what is interesting is you can see as soon as we jumped on top of this EMA, we saw this huge bull run, but we finally dipped below. And people are asking whether or not it's a good time to get into BNB, knowing that it is quite undervalued here at negative 2% in the past 7 days. Well, in my opinion, there may still be some further downside. You can see if we were to go into the 4-hour, we're right on that Fibonacci retracement level here. And in my opinion, we may breach this and see further downside, knowing that the RSI right now is still pointing down. And it looks like it's going to go ahead and bounce off of its known support level of 36. So I'm currently waiting to put in a position for the BNB coin. Also seeing here with this fast length on its way down, it's shooting straight down. You've got all of these sellers in the market right now. I just don't see this as a good entry point right now, knowing that there's still potential further downside. I think once we can start hitting these lower Fibonacci retracement levels, possibly down to the 0.5 or the 0.38, I think that would be the ideal position here for the BNB coin, because this was all the hype that we saw from the upcoming quote-unquote coin burn. So let's see if we have any sort of questions here from the live audience. Who do we have on right now? Mr. Omega says, I have bad internet. You need to upgrade your internet. Imnick1 says, hell yeah, down with PayPal and Venmo. Yes, absolutely. Simon says, this is an American issue, really. Here in the UK, we have been able to send instant payments to any other bank in seconds for free 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The US is lagging. That's interesting, and that's true. A lot of this has to do with the US regulations. But once again, the US is a very powerful country in this world, and obviously there's a lot of other countries that have a lot of advances in technology that is allowing for payment transfers, but the US is one that is typically behind with things like this because of the fact that it's such a big country. They have to make moves slowly. They can't just jump and rush into things. So that's definitely important here. Somebody says Switchio. Everybody's talking about the Switchio coin. So let's go ahead and move on to the Verge technical analysis as well. You can see this contracting falling wedge forming here. If we were to pull up the 1 hour chart, everybody's looking to get a position in Verge now. They've announced this partnership. But in my opinion, looking at this 1 day chart once again, you can see the RSI is just right here in the neutral zone. It's not necessarily finding any sort of previous support where it actually seen its RSI. And what I mean by that is this is just right in the middle of the neutral zone. There's not really any sort of indication that it's found a support level. And you can see the MACD is still quite overstretched, and we're just now seeing the sellers come into this histogram. In my opinion, there's still more sellers waiting to get their positions out from Verge, and I still am expecting further downside. I think once we can really break through this contracting falling wedge, which actually is extending a little bit further here, I think that's going to be the real point in which we can tell whether or not Verge is going to see further upside, knowing that we're also in these Fibonacci retracement levels. You see we're finding some resistance right along the Fibonacci retracement where we found exact support. So I am still expecting some further downside, knowing that the majority of the market has already been up. In my opinion, we have to see a healthy correction before seeing further upside. And as you can see here, with any contracting falling wedge, we want to wait for that initial breakout where we're going to see very sharp movement in price, and we haven't really seen that yet. In my opinion, with Verge, we saw this pullback here from the Fibonacci retracement zone, but not necessarily breaking this contracting falling wedge. So let's move on to a coin that I am very excited about, and that is EOS, forming a beautiful cup and handle following these bullish RSI levels. Very, very good indicator of further price movements. The MACD is also looking very good, just curved back up. We're seeing a plethora of buyers coming into this market as well. And if you don't know what a cup and handle is, once again, this is a very known breakout pattern where you've got this initial breakout, the cup forming, the handle, and then the breakout following with that cup. And you can see we are now starting to see that breakout occur with this handle as we've already formed this cup and handle. So very exciting to see this with EOS. In my opinion, EOS, as it comes closer to the time where it's going to release its mainnet, that intrinsic value is just going to go through the roof, and it's going to bring EOS to a whole nother level of all new highs, in my opinion, knowing that it's going to go in direct competition with other de-application platforms like Ethereum, Cardano, Neo, and coins of that nature. So pretty exciting to see that with EOS. Let's see if we've got any sort of questions here on the live stream. John Waller says, good call on TRX, Naeem. Thank you, brother. Master says, bought Bitcoin Cash and 5 Ethereum. Good. Awesome. Mark D says, Substratum will moon prior to CNN documentary next week. Interesting. Maybe we should search that up. If there's a documentary coming out, that's obviously going to bring attention. Somebody says, John Doe, hey Naeem, you love saying in my opinion. Yes, because it is my opinion. And once again, as an analyst, you have to get multiple perspectives. That's really the goal of technical analysis. It's not necessarily just getting one perspective or trying to just come up with everything yourself. It's looking at multiple different technical analysts and saying, okay, you have this perspective of this pattern forming. I have this perspective of this pattern forming, because we all have different strengths and weaknesses. So as long as you're aware of your strengths and weaknesses, you can play your strengths and then look at others that are strong in where you're weak. Somebody says, EOS airdrop. Yes, Mike Menace. Abdi says, what do you think about OMG? Do you think it has the chance to go on Coinbase? I don't know about Coinbase because we see those rumors way too much, but Amisco in general is a great project. It's been around before blockchain, and I think that they have a very well-established team and a foundation to bring them to the next phase of this cryptocurrency market, because a lot of these coins are not going to make it to the next phase, in my opinion. Just like the .com era, right? In 2000, a lot of those websites are not around anymore, right? So you want to make sure that you're putting your money in coins that have intrinsic value. And it's cool because a lot of these coins that are down right now all have intrinsic value because they saw a spike and a exuberance of price prior to the full market exuberance that we've seen. So now these are the coins that are down in value while the whole market is up. So it's interesting that we're in this phase of the market. And I think that as long as we can put our money where there's intrinsic value, you'll be set in place for the future of this market. Mitch88 says, Neo is looking very strong. Very good there. William Sanchez, help a brother out by giving me some Verge. I need to renew my account. RF Dusty says, I feel like everyone is throwing thousands into the industry, and I'm happy when I can put $100 into the market. You are all rich or something. Hey, listen, if you put $100 in Facebook when the stock first came out, you'd be a pretty happy person right now. Ali Blob says, hey, Naeem, just want to say that I appreciate you so much. You are basically one of my mentors. Thank you so much for all you've done. Thank you. I really appreciate that, and I take that with complete honor. And you know, you always want to find mentors in different industries. It's extremely important. You know, one of my mentors just had an ICO. It's called the Gibril Network, and his name is Yazan. And, you know, he kind of consults me with different things in this market, you know, as I progress and I attend more conferences. By the way, I'm going to be in Santa Monica tomorrow at the ICO 20 Summit. So there's actually a link in the description of this video if y'all want to attend this conference. It's going to be tomorrow, all about ICOs in Santa Monica. I'd love to see some of you there. If you do come, send me a message on Twitter so we can have a meetup. But I put that link in the description below. And there's also a service that I wanted to talk about, because a lot of people ask me about how to set up consecutive stop losses and take profits, because a lot of our trade alerts have stop zones, entry zones, and exit zones, right? And any sort of trader needs to set entry and exit points when they're trading, because if you don't plan for your trade, then the trade will plan for you, and that's typically not a good thing because the house always wins. So you want to make sure that you plan out your take profits and your stop losses properly. So this program, it's called 3 Commas. I actually put a link in the description below. That is an affiliate link, but you can see here, this is an automatic trading bot, and it actually works for Bittrex, Bitfinex, Binance, Bitstamp, KuCoin, Polynex, GDEX, Cryptopia, Huobi, and Yobit. And this allows you to set up consecutive stop losses and take profits at the same time. And I highly recommend this. If you don't know how to use it, you can click video guide on their website, and they have a video that will show you exactly how to use it. So if you don't feel comfortable using it, then I wouldn't. This is more so for those that are a little bit more advanced and want to utilize the take profit and stop losses consecutively. So Jose Saldana says, Block Mason. Haven't heard of that. Sorry, brother. Thank you for the super chat, man. Samuel says, when is a good time to buy Ripple? Ripple has been doing very well recently. Actually, Ripple has had a lot of good news lately. This PayPal news that came out today is actually really good news for Ripple, knowing that Ripple is working with banks and money transfer. So I don't know if you guys remember the MoneyGram partnership that occurred with Walmart to Pay. That's actually all being held under Ripple's Interledger system, and that is going to be a lot cheaper than using PayPal, paying $5 per international transaction, which I think is kind of ridiculous, knowing that we're into this revolution. I think it's going to really bring a lot of people away from PayPal towards other means of payment transfer. Somebody says, are the bulls coming? Nick Shraven. You got to read this article, brother. Look at this. This is a huge hedge fund. It's a very good time to buy Bitcoin, says Pantera Capital CEO. It's 65% below its high. You don't get that opportunity very often, is what the CEO said. So knowing that we're under this 200-day moving average, any sort of fast-moving asset being under the 200-day moving average is a really good price to get in. So in my opinion, we're going to start moving above and beyond these Fibonacci retracement levels as we start to see this upward channel form, and then eventually going to go above that 200-day moving average to eventually find support. But in my opinion, there still could be some downside along the way. So that's why we want to be sure to play our swings properly, setting up stop losses properly. And that's why we use programs like 3 commas, for example. So if you have a position in Bitcoin, make sure you're able to keep those profits as it starts to swing up and down. Even though it might be going up, you want to make sure to take advantage of those swings. Somebody says, should I go all in on crypto? I would never go all in. It's all about asset allocation. So diversification is a big aspect of investing, and Warren Buffett talks about it all the time. He's one of the most successful investors in the world. You have to allocate your assets and diversify properly in order to manage your risk. Somebody says, have you looked at Stellar, Naeem? It is up about 33% in the last 3 weeks. Yes, Stellar is an awesome project, Mitch88. We've been talking about Stellar for a very long time. I'm telling you, Jed McCaleb knows what he's doing. He started MT Gox before it got hacked, so understand that he was actually one of the successors of MT Gox, but then a year later, once the ownership was transferred to a new CEO, is when it got hacked. So he had a successful project with MT Gox. He co-founded Ripple, which is extremely successful, and then went ahead and forked away from that and started Stellar in order to go ahead and fulfill his vision of banking the unbanked. So very good project, in my opinion. Has a lot of intrinsic value, and I think a lot like EOS seeing its ramp up with the expectation of its mainnet, I think that Stellar will also have a huge run up soon, knowing that they're going to be progressing with their project as well alongside with EOS. Giovanni20 says, Naeem, I will be happy if you look at Zeepcoin. We're not going to be looking at coins right now. Kubo Tayo said, Naeem, what is a coin that you hodl? You got to hodl coins. You got to have a long-term portfolio, a short-term portfolio, and a day trading portfolio, right? So there's swing trading portfolios, day trading portfolios, very different because day trading portfolios are more specified towards certain time frames of the day where you're going in and you're using a certain amount of assets and capital. But swing trading portfolios are portfolios that you utilize with multiple different trades, and you set up stop losses and take profits, and you kind of let it trade itself, right? You go, you put your stop losses, you take profits in, and you go have dinner, you come back, and you may have made some money, or you may have triggered a stop loss and saved your profits. So there's a lot of different ways to play it, but in my opinion, my long-term portfolio, I've been talking about all of these coins. So if you are a sniper here on Sniper Soup, you guys know exactly what I have in my portfolio. Mike D says, Naeem, can you check OMG? Where are we going up or side to side? We're not going to be doing coin requests right now. Somebody says, what do you think of ETN's patent for instant transactions? Are we going to the moon? Yes, ETN, in my opinion, is still a very bullish project. It's creating partnerships every single month. They're continuously progressing and adding to their project. In my opinion, they have a really good team. Their quarterback is an extremely successful executive and has had very successful partnerships and businesses in the past. In my opinion, ETN is still in its bullish phase. Peter says, I also want to express my gratitude, brother. I did already learn so much to catch the trades nicely. Still looking forward to learn more and just listen, just learning 3 commas. Awesome, yeah. Hopefully you are able to use 3 commas properly. Russ says, hey, Naeem, I know you said there is a cup and handle forming on BNB. Any thoughts on a pennant forming on Lisk? We don't have Lisk pulled up right now, sorry. Somebody says, the lag started this week. I don't think it's his internet. Yeah, it's not my internet. I'm not sure what the lag is for. RJ says, do you have degrees? No. Emex says 300 likes for Naeem to shave the Bitcoin logo into his beard. All right, we'll do that. Good one, Emex. We'll do 300 likes for her Bitcoin logo on the beard. What are we at right now? Let me check. What are we over 100 right now? It looks like we are. Oh no, we're only at 68. Man, you guys are slacking. Come on. Alibob says, when is the next Ruby Mastermind? It's going to be this Sunday, so I will be announcing that soon. Sunday or Monday. I'll let you all know. Somebody says, Naeem, when is the next Ruby Mastermind? Okay, we just answered that question. You don't have to ask twice. Sorry. Love from Pakistan. Good to have you. Somebody asks, YouTube probably slowing down crypto channels because blockchain threatens their empire. They're threatened by Steemit and DTube right now. That is hilarious. So Yes, interesting market. Some of the coins that I want you all to pay attention to over the next couple of weeks, though. Litecoin extremely undervalued right now at $145. In my opinion, there's going to be a lot more upside there. Typically, when Ethereum was around $550, Litecoin was a lot higher than 145. So I think that we're going to see some higher price levels there. Bitcoin Cash recently saw a huge spike up after a pretty tragic drop in price. I'm expecting this to be over 1,000 soon, just knowing that a lot of people are fans of Bitcoin Cash and like to utilize Bitcoin Cash for their transactions as we await for the Lightning Network to come about. Ripple has just had so much good news lately at 75 cents, in my opinion, extremely undervalued. I think we'll see this over $1 very soon. A lot of these coins, in my opinion, if we're talking midterm trades, a lot of these coins are going to be up over the next couple of weeks. Even if we see a slight pullback right now, I still expect a lot of these coins 2 to 3 months from now to be a lot higher than where they're at now. NEO under $100. In my opinion, big opportunity there as well as more applications are built on the NEO platform. We talked about Monero breaking out recently. NEM, tons of use case in Japan. I think 38 cents is completely undervalued right now for NEM as well. So big opportunity there. Tron, 28% up right now. We know that they're going to be having their mainnet launch, so a lot of value there. I'm just excited about this market in general. I think there's going to be a lot of these projects that are going to start moving up the ranks. Zilliqa as well. You can see that starting to move up with 22% gains in the past 7 days. It's just looking like a very bullish market. A lot of these legacy coins are making moves here. If you don't know what legacy coins are, these legacy coins are coins that have been around for quite some time, right? Amisco, Dash, NEM, Monero, NEO, these are coins that have been around. Now they're starting to see mainnets launch, testnets launch. These are all going to bring more liquidity into the market, more investors, and more interest in the market. And that's what I'm excited about. So we're in a very good time. I'm excited for this whole cryptocurrency market to really start seeing more institutional money come into the market because we haven't yet seen it, as we all know. And I think that's really what's going to be the biggest breakthrough for this market. So are you guys excited about that? Yes or no? Who's excited about institutional money coming in? Somebody says, nice beard, Naeem. Let it grow out. Keep it clean. Thank you, Mr. Schrader. We almost had to do an Osama bin Laden beard yesterday. We almost hit 300 likes on the live stream. Let's see if we have to do the Bitcoin in the beard. Have we hit 300? No, we're nowhere near 300. Oh, man. We're at 150. We're halfway there. Near 300. Come on, guys. You gonna make the sprint? Somebody says, why was there no increase after the BNB coin burn? Mike Lee Jr. Because you want to buy the hype and sell the news. People were already expecting an increase because of the previous 2 coin burns, and that's why we wanted to go against what the majority was going to do. So that's why we announced on Snipers to sell all your BNB prior to that. Once again, this isn't financial advice, but it's our perspective and our opinion, right? Somebody says, extremely excited. Russ McClanahan. Brian Chase says, what is institutional money? It's all of the money that you see in the stock market right now that isn't in our market right now. So this is the first market in the history of time where Main Street has arrived before Wall Street. So that's what we mean by institutional money. George Trachel says, we with ya, snip. Interesting. You might be Australian. Brian Chase says, buy BNB when Bitcoin dips. That's actually what I'm waiting for. I'm trying to see if Bitcoin is going to surpass 8,250, 8,300 and see this resistance break out. Because if that happens, then the majority of the market is probably going to go up. But we're most likely going to have to see a pullback before we see any sort of higher prices because these are just exuberant price levels right now. Most of these coins over 20% up. We have to see some sort of healthy correction before seeing further upside, in my opinion. Mikey Mouse says, count from 1 to 10 and you be billionaire with XVG. I don't know about that, but I heard Verge just partnered with a gaming company followed by the Pornhub partnership, and that actually initiated this new partnership. So that's very, very possible, right? Once they partner with one company, other companies want to partner with them. Makes sense. Andy says, we appreciate you very much, my brother. Thank you, brother. Or Jay Hilton says, stellar pullback, up 50% in 7 days. That is awesome. Dapper Crypto says, thoughts on Pink. I have not looked at Pink. So why don't we do a book giveaway before we end this live stream? There's actually a recommended reading list on our Discord. If you're not on our Discord, the link is in the description below. But let's go ahead and do a giveaway here for the Internet of Money. And I'm going to see who is paying attention during this live stream. And the question is going to be this. What is the name of the conference that I'm going to be attending tomorrow? And let's see who's the first one to say it on my chat, because it'll be different on everybody's screen depending on the lag. But whoever says it on my screen first is going to win the giveaway for the Internet of Money. And it seems like the first person is nobody yet. Somebody says Dubai. Somebody says ICO. Somebody says Summit. No. No. Somebody says ICO 20. No. You have to have the full name. IOC Summit. Somebody says Santa Monica. ICO. No. There you go. Somebody got it. Alibaba 1 ICO 20 Summit. That's the full name of the conference. Alibaba 1. Send me a private message on Twitter at SnipersTube, and you'll go ahead and win that book. But I think that's about it for now. We went over all the analysis, and once again, we're in a great time in the market. So thank you all for tuning in once again, and we're going to stay up to date. We're watching many different coins right now on our Patreon if you're getting our trade alerts. And we may not have a live stream tomorrow, being that I will be at this conference. We'll see. But this weekend I know is going to be very busy. So we're going to try our best to bring content. But we may not have a live stream for the next 1 or 2 days. Depending on how we do it, we might have a video or something of that nature. So thank you all for tuning in, though. And hopefully this update has added some value. And until our next update, we're going to see, I think, Bitcoin by the next video is going to make some sort of move. So it's going to be exciting to see that. So thank you all for watching. Like always, Snipers out.